Hello, this is Harry Paden. I am the host of Paden's Pulpit. This is Season 1, Episode 35, Preparing for Winter. Preparing for Winter. The seasons change automatically, thanks to God. Seasons come and the seasons go. Being prepared for the seasons, that's up to us. I worked as an inspector in various capacities. I literally rose up the ladder and had so many classes for 20 plus years. June 2018, 4 years ago, I retired as an inspection department supervisor. And prior to retiring, I had the responsibility of ensuring that residents under the Housing Choice Voucher Program, HCV, formerly called Section 8, were safe, decent, and sanitary under housing quality standards according to the Department of Housing and Urban Development Guidelines, which is a federal guideline, and it trumps, the federal trumps all, city, state, but that's neither here nor there. It's just one of the many inspections that places get. Many of the problems and deficits that I encountered in homes and apartments as an inspector come from a lack of preparing properly for the change of seasons, especially during winter when we encounter freezing temperatures, snow, ice, high winds, and similar inclement conditions. Many places right now are experiencing some of those inclement conditions, and certainly those people had to be prepared for them as those storms were approaching, or they should have been. The following are some tips on preparing you and your family for winter. Take heed. It may not seem important now, but do you know how to shut off your home or apartment's water valves in case a pipe breaks or leaks? It is far better to locate this valve now than when the pipe busts and water is gushing out. Make sure your home's attics and walls are properly insulated. Heat rises and will escape through poorly insulated walls and or attics. If you need assistance, stores such as Home Depot may be able to help. They have brochures, and many of the people there are, fountains of information. Also, install weather stripping. Do it now, not when it starts to get 30 degrees below 32. Install weather stripping around windows and door frames to help minimize drafts and allowing heat to escape. Also, now's the time. Take out the screens from your windows and replace them with storm windows and storm screens and storm doors. Here's a tip for preparing outside, because outside also is important to what happens inside. Carefully trim any overgrown branches from your property and or electrical wires to prevent ice or tree damage during a storm. Make sure all gutters and downspouts, that's a part, can't give you the full scope of it, but it's called a downspout, clear of debris so that water or snow can flow freely from your roof or your home unobstructed. Clean leaves and debris from drains to prevent blockages. Make sure all vents and openings are covered to prevent, this is very important, rodents, birds, insects, etc. from getting inside of your warm home. You leave an opening and they feel that warmth, they're going to invade your home. Move shovels and snow blowers to the front of your garage so that you do not have to look for them after a storm. Make sure all shovels are undamaged and your snow blower starts up and works correctly. Also check that you have enough ice melt or sand on hand. Stores run out quickly with the mere mention of snow. Do it now, please. Tips for inside your home or apartment. Clean or replace the air filter in your furnace for maximum efficiency. Dirty air filters clog the flow of air, causing your furnace to work harder and could even start a fire. Bleed. Bleeding is a term, but bleed valves on any hot water radiators to increase heat efficiency. That probably should be done once a year prior to winter. Make sure there's no water. By bleeding it, you're bleeding the water out of it. If you don't know how to do it, it's a very simple procedure. Go online. You shouldn't even have to pay someone to do it. Remove air conditioners from your windows or cover them with insulated liners or covers. This is an important one. Flush hot water tanks to remove sediment and check the pressure relief valve to make sure it's in good working order. This one a little bit more complicated. I say pay someone with knowledge to do it because it's just, you don't want to mess up that machine, the hot water heater. Check very, 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 very important. Check that smoke, alarms, and carbon monoxide detectors have fresh batteries and are in good working order. If nowadays they make them to last, infinitely, but I'm from the old school. Replace them, put new ones in, because you have the expectation that they will work. These are vital tools. A good rule of thumb is that there should be a smoke detector on every floor of your unit, including basements, common halls, and attics. I also recommend having a carbon monoxide detector. You can never have too many. Don't let anybody tell you can have too many. It may not look as well, but you want this to work during the time. Finally, prepare an emergency kit. Keep it well stocked with and educate all family members where it will be located. Keep it within reach where even the smallest or youngest member of the household can get to it. Your emergency kit should include flashlights with an S, and batteries with an S, candles with an S, and a few lighters with an S, or plenty of matches with an S. The reason I say an S is, what if you just have one flashlight and it doesn't work? What if you just have one and it doesn't work? Have more than one. Come on. Just my suggestion. Store these items in a plastic bag to keep them dry. Very important. They're not going to do you any good if they get wet. And winter is a wet season. Also, some of you may not know anything about this, but have a battery-operated radio and plenty of batteries. Make sure they are the right size for your radio. What if cable goes out? What if internet goes out? You want a radio, old-fashioned radio, to be able to get you. We never think things like this will happen, but I recommend having them. Food stuff, such as canned food, canned meats, dry cereal, chocolate bars, etc. Prepare for an emergency. If there's an emergency and you have to hunker down in your house for 2-3 days, a week, 2 weeks, that's what I would prepare for a month. I thought I had something in my mouth, sorry. Prepare for a month. Because you never know, just have, that's why they call it an emergency. Also, goes without saying, have plenty of water. Don't just have the water that you're going to use in a month. Have extra water stored up so that you will, in a time of need, have water. We know water is one of the main sources that you can't live without. If emergency comes, if the store's not open, you need water. The sink doesn't work, you need water. Have extra water. These are just tips and recommendations. Go on your computer, do your own research, put in preparing my family and home for winter/storms. Being prepared could save property damage, and more importantly, it could save you and your family's lives. I hope that these tips help and that you have a safe and happy winter. Again, these are just my short tips. Do your own homework. You can get it off the internet now. Prepare yourself for winter. As they said on the House of Dragons show, whatever it was called, winter is coming. Are you prepared? Please spread this information. Another aspect of it I didn't go over, but have your car ready too. To God be the glory. Winter's coming. Be prepared.